Hey guys, a very good morning and welcome to a new market outlook. So yeah, it feels good to be back. As you guys can see, camera's back on, back from holidays, had some great time off, but ready to smash some charts out. So without further ado, let's just dive straight in. So to begin with the DXY as per usual. So what can we see on the DXY? Well, on the DXY we have this major area of demand which has been acting as support from 89,800 and lower. And as you can see, we tapped into demand, after that skyrocketed, tapped in towards demand, after that skyrocketed. So yeah, it's really a very strong area of demand, that 89,800 area. And now what we're actually waiting for is potentially a push just a little bit higher, back up towards that 0.989 and higher region, as that is an area of daily supply. So I am looking for that area to get hit before taking any further shorts at the moment, if I look at it from a daily perspective then. At the moment the daily could come down a little bit lower, back down in towards this area of demand from 90.675 to 90.346. This would be pretty nice, because if we then draw on a fib, then what you'll see is that that area of demand does align with the 618 fib. So it would be nice if we could come into that area, and I wanted to look at the 4 hour, but I'll just stay on the daily. But it would be nice if we could come into that area with a nice chart pattern, or price pattern, excuse me, to then go along in towards that 92.989 region. However, it is NFP week, so what we have to realize is the market is consolidating until the news announcement, or will most likely consolidate, of course. So two things. What we know from consolidation is that after a very long period of consolidation, you'll often see a very large impulse either in towards the highs or in towards the lows. So that is a first. And a second of all, never try and trade areas of consolidation, as you will most likely burn your fingers. So looking at price at the moment, yeah, it's just really consolidating. So what we need to wait for is either a break above this area of resistance or a push down below this area of support. And the most important area which we need to take out is this area of consolidation at around 91.300 towards that 91.500 region. Once that level is broken, yeah, the road is free to come back down in towards that area of daily demand, which I just named. So yeah, for today, not much going on the DXY, so we'll just have to wait for what is next, and until we see a breakout in either direction. So yeah, let's head over to Aussie dollar. And Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar currently faked out beautifully on the swing high of 0.75992. So after faking out on that high, we did start to move back down in towards the lows. So these are the two areas I'm looking for: 0.76100 to 0.76458 and 0.75476 until 0.75388. So those are the two regions of interest. Looking at Aussie dollar at the moment, we can see that we had this ascending price structure, broke down in towards the lows. So we could come back down lower, back down in towards that 0.75476. Furthermore, looking at price, what we've seen, we did have, of course, this ascending wedge over here. We broke out, but yeah, it just started to consolidate further back up in towards the highs, coming towards that area of supply, which I did call out last week. We saw a fake out on this swing high, and since then we have been moving back down lower. Quickly just drawing in this trend line, we can also see that we broke this trend line. So yeah, the confluence is there to come back down lower, but of course, yeah, we just have to wait and see what the DXY wants to do next, because the DXY can really just screw up everything alongside the news announcements. So yeah, let's just see what happens next, but yeah, it looks good for some further downside at the moment. So with that said, let's head over to euro dollar. And euro dollar. So euro dollar is kind of just as boring as the DXY at the moment. Not much to be said, just consolidating between this area of support and between this area of resistance over here. We have some major fake outs on the high. So after channel maturement, we did tank towards the downside. However, we've just consolidated further. Nothing interesting at the moment. Looking at where price will head next in regards to supply and demand, I do have this area of 1.18966, which is an area of demand, and I have this area of supply from 1.19884 and higher as an area of supply. So yeah, just looking to trade in between these two levels. Yeah, as you guys can see, euro dollar is just really consolidating and not tradable for me personally then at the moment. So yep, that's euro dollar. Let's head over to pound dollar. And pound dollar. So pound dollar at the moment, looking at a weekly perspective, because let's just start off the week good. What we have on the weekly essentially is a trend line break, because if we were to draw on this trend line over here, what we can then see is that we had one close outside of the trend line, then another close outside of the trend line, which could mean that we have official trend line break. This is a sign of potential bearishness to come. Alongside that, we do have this potential head and shoulders pattern with the left shoulder, the head, and a potential right shoulder. So yeah, pound dollar is looking good for a further pullback in towards the lows. We could see one more push higher, as there is an area of daily liquidity, yeah, positioned around here at this zone of 1.41. So yeah, it is possible that we come up higher during the beginning of the week to then start dipping down lower with this kind of a zigzag pattern, boom, like that. Just going back into towards the 4 hour, there is still liquidity, or a lot of liquidity, situated underneath this area of demand at around 1.38604. But as you guys can see, my zone has already got hit over here, and after hitting my zone, yeah, we have started to move back up in towards the highs. We came in towards demand with this descending price action, so it is possible to just start moving back up in towards the highs. However, what needs to happen is that price needs to break out of this trend line with two closes, and from then onwards we could see a push higher back up towards this 1.39392 region, because there is liquidity situated above this high. Furthermore, we then have supply from 1.39626 and higher, from where price could also potentially start dropping back down in towards the lows. As you guys can see, I still have this line drawn on, as there also is still liquidity situated underneath this low, as I just mentioned. So yeah, waiting for pound dollar to do something at the moment. Either move back up higher, react from this, see this as a new area of support before potentially then once again moving higher, or we could just fake out on this trend line, draw a fib from here to here, and see price come down lower to take out this area of liquidity over here, and even push down lower in towards that 1.38282 region. So that's pound dollar for you. Let's head over to Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar, so Kiwi dollar is very similar to Aussie dollar. However, what I really like about Kiwi dollar is that we took out the lows over here. So this money over here is the lows, and the liquidity situated underneath that low. And as you guys can see, we had daily demand over here, so we reacted towards that daily demand. Since then, been pushing back up higher. But once again, what I really like is that we saw a close outside of demand, and that we took out the liquidity over here, which is a sign of bullishness. Looking back at the 4 hour at the moment, we are currently situated within this area of supply, so we could start dipping down lower from here. As you guys can see, we also have broken this trend line, and as you can see, we have also hit that 618 to perfection. It starts to tank from there, but at the moment it's just consolidating. So yeah, just really waiting for something to happen. At the moment we had this ascending price action coming in towards supply, then boom boom, 618 started tanking towards lows, however just consolidating from here on forward. So either we're going to start dropping from here and we can start looking for a new setup to trade it back down lower once more, or another opportunity, or another opportunity which could arise is potentially take out this high over here, as there is still a lot of liquidity situated above this high. Because as you can see, there is a gap within the market where a lot of liquidity is situated, a lot of stop losses are placed here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do still come back up higher to take out that area of liquidity. So yeah guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this comeback. If you did, please leave a thumbs up or comment on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed once again, and if you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to me either in the comments down below or through my Instagram or Discord, which you can find in the link in the description. So yeah guys, that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye guys.